Have you ever thought that your kitchen could become your English classroom? Most people believe they need a desk, a notebook, and several hours to study English. I used to think the same way. But one evening, while I was cooking dinner, I discovered something surprising. Learning English doesn't always happen in a classroom. Sometimes it happens while washing vegetables, stirring a pot of soup, or waiting for water to boil. That simple evening changed the way I practiced English forever. Today, I'd like to invite you into my kitchen and show you how cooking became one of my favorite ways to learn English. Let's begin. A relaxing evening. After finishing work, I arrived home feeling tired. It had been a long day. My mind was full of meetings, emails, and things I still needed to do. For a moment, I wanted to order fast food. It would have been easier. But then I opened my refrigerator. There were fresh vegetables, eggs, chicken, and a few tomatoes. I smiled. Why not cook something simple? I washed my hands, put on my favorite apron, and turned on some soft background music. The kitchen immediately felt warm and peaceful. As I prepared the ingredients, I remembered an English podcast that talked about learning vocabulary through daily activities. So I put on my headphones. Instead of listening to music, I listened to English while cooking. It was one of the best decisions I had ever made. Every ingredient teaches me something. I picked up a carrot and quietly said, "This is a carrot." Then I held a tomato. "This is a tomato." I wasn't trying to memorize long vocabulary lists. I was simply naming the things around me. Next, I took out an onion. I laughed because I remembered the first time I learned the word onion. Back then, I kept forgetting it. Now it felt completely natural. As I chopped the vegetables, I spoke to myself in English. I'm cutting the carrots. I'm washing the lettuce. I'm boiling some water. The sentences were simple, but they were real. They described exactly what I was doing. That made them much easier to remember. Soon, I realized I wasn't translating anymore. The English words came into my mind automatically. Without noticing it, I was beginning to think in English. Mistakes make the meal better. While I was cooking, I accidentally dropped a spoon onto the floor. I laughed and said, "Oops." That wasn't part of the recipe. Moments like this became wonderful speaking practice. Sometimes I forgot a word. Instead of stopping, I described it another way. If I couldn't remember the word pepper, I simply said, "the black spice." If I forgot frying pan, I said, "the pan for cooking." I discovered that communication is much more important than perfect vocabulary. The more I spoke, the more confident I became. Cooking also taught me patience. A delicious meal cannot be finished in 2 minutes. It needs time. English is exactly the same. You cannot become fluent overnight. You improve one meal, one conversation, one day at a time. Dinner is ready. About 40 minutes later, dinner was finally ready. The kitchen smelled wonderful. I placed the food on the table and poured myself a glass of water. Before eating, I looked around the room. Everything felt peaceful. I had prepared a healthy dinner. I had learned new English words. I had practiced listening and speaking. And the best part was, it never felt like studying. It simply felt like enjoying my evening. As I finished my meal, I thought about how many opportunities we miss every day. We wait for the perfect lesson, the perfect teacher, the perfect time. But learning is already happening around us. In the kitchen, at the supermarket, during a walk, at a coffee shop. Every ordinary moment can become an English lesson if we pay attention. That evening taught me a valuable lesson. Learning English doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be stressful. Sometimes all you need is a simple daily activity and a little curiosity. The next time you cook dinner, try speaking a few English sentences. Name the vegetables. Describe the recipe. Talk about the smell, the taste, and the colors. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Every sentence is another step forward. Every meal is another opportunity to practice. Thank you for spending this relaxing evening with me. I hope this story inspires you to discover English in your everyday life. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Keep learning. And remember, your home can become the best classroom you have ever had. I'll see you in the next English learning podcast. Have a peaceful evening.